Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Opportunity Zone. I got Chris.
I got Nate. But I want you to notice something here. The world is topsy-turvy.
What?
Nate is on the right.
Chris said before the show started, he said, I don't know if I can argue with you today. I'm like, why?
Because you're on the right.
I'm on the right. All right. So guys, we got a full stack today. The Federal Reserve is doing a pivot, interest rate pivot coming, and this is going to affect you as an investor. So we'll get into that. We've also got,
I'm happy about that, believe it or not.
because it well, I don't want to give it
Yeah,
all
don't
away.
give it away.
Okay.
Don't give it away.
We'll get into that in just a second, but the Federal Reserve is doing another pivot. So you gotta understand what this is going to mean for you as a multifamily investor or a potential investor. So we'll get into that. We're also going to cover what Trump's new budget regarding HUD is going to do.
HUD and
Homelessness.
who are the gurus out there on the internet, Nate?
Oh, our Section 8
Section
millionaires.
8 millionaires, yeah.
Ooh, the Section 8 millionaires are not going to want to watch this show.
And everybody was just like, oh, he's pulling back. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Sorpresa, sorpresa, sorpresa.
If you were considering doing anything subsidized housing, make sure you watch this one, okay?
Yeah.
And then next, multifamily, month over month, rents have gone up. But there's
Yep.
a but. We'll
There's
get
a
into
big
the
but.
okay? We'll get into that but in just a minute. My home state is going through some more interesting
Your home
tax-
state is going somewhere, yeah.
I don't live there anymore, but we're going to talk about that. And we'll also talk about where wealth is moving in this money map that we're about to show you during this episode.
This is the most upsetting topic for me today.
The money map?
Look at it!
You're going to see it in just a minute, but literally this money map on like where wealth is flowing, this matters. When you're investing, you want to follow where jobs are going, and jobs are moving in a direction right now you have to see.
Ooh, wait. No, we'll talk about it later.
All right, and then we'll round out the show talking about what Carmel Partners, huge operators in the space, where their money's going.
They're operators, and what they're doing is really indicative of what you should be paying attention to right now.
Yeah, 100%. All right, first we're going to open up with a little old, I'd normally do a proverb, but this is a Leviticus.
He's looking for trouble today. I'm just saying.
Okay, so this is from the book of Leviticus, and it says that land must never be sold on a permanent basis. It says instead, you are only foreigners and tenant farmers working for me. This is God speaking to his people.
Correct.
And the subtlety that I want to pull, the context, I'm not going to get into all of that, but the subtlety I want to pull is that he's saying basically you're a steward. You're here. Your job is to do your work and be a steward of what you've got while you're here. But you're not really living for just this life. You're living for the next. Chris, can I ask you to give the blessing?
It's a very personal one, but yes. Heavenly Father, first and foremost, I'd like to extend my gratitude for what you are and what you mean to me. Thank you for the many blessings that I have on a regular basis. The empowerment, the peace, the strength, the faith, the courage, and the wisdom that you've granted me. And this reading that Nate is doing today, it means everything to me because I live my life as though everything is yours, and I am just a steward of it. As a result of that, I have great peace and great strength and great faith in you. Please bless the people today that are listening to this, watching this, and bless us with the words that they need to hear so that they can go out and live a fruitful life, following your directions as it was written. I ask all of this in your son's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that, Chris. So I just watched Chris up on stage in front of a lot of people the last 4 days, and I know how personal that message is, and we just wrapped up. Now we're here.
Dude, am I ever going to get to rest?
The show must go on. So speaking of the show, we have the Federal Reserve putting on a show.
Oh, no.
So the way that the Federal Reserve works is there's 12 members that vote. Everybody sees Jerome Powell, that's this guy in the picture. They see him and that this is what they think of the Federal Reserve. And the thing is that yes, he's the head, but there's 12 voting members, and those 12 members are who dictates which direction interest rates are going or if they're pausing. And we have Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. He's actually being swapped out on May 15th. His tenure is over, and a new guy steps in.
Do we know who yet?
We do. It's a Trump appointee, someone that Trump really
Yes,
likes.
sir.
And you know what? Trump is actually already saying like, oh, once this is third party, but what I'm hearing is that Trump is counting on him lowering rates. Okay.
Paul?
No, new
Oh, I was
guy.
going to say, where did
New
that
guy.
come from?
No, new guy.
All right.
But the thing is I did a little homework. I started digging into this guy used to be one of the 12.
Yeah.
And in the past, he was actually a rate hike guy.
Yes.
So let's see where this goes.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm very happy about this right now, which is completely opposite to what I've been saying for the past year. Why do I say this? Two reasons. With the idea that rates are going to go up, it's forcing people to sell. So there's a debt curtain that's happening, right? All of these loans that were taken out in 22 come due in 27, 21, 26, 20, 25. They're already due and they're past due. And we're dealing with a transaction right now where that is the very case, where people are paying to extend their loans. Why is that important? Because they had 2.5% interest rates, and now the interest rates are 5 or 6%. And if you're not a great borrower, 6.5%. So it's forcing people to transact, right? And those transactions are a little bit higher rate right now, interest rate. So that's forcing the price down. Why is any of this important? Forcing the price down causes people to. Forcing the price down causes people to think about this financing situation and what it's going to look like. There are very few people that want to transact right now for two reasons. One, the potential for the rates coming down. They think it's going to be cheaper next month. But then you've got these people that have to transact right now, and they don't really want to because they feel that the rates are going to come down. So I'm saying a lot to say this. We have a couple more months of taking these deals that are going sideways. Banks are having to take over because they can't operate. And it gives us an opportunity to buy these properties with some kind of short-term financing bridge or something else that we can pay high now but easily step out of as rates plunge. And it allows us to force the price down for us to automatically gain a whole bunch of equity when the rates do flip-flop. So while I have been pushing for rates to come down, I'm happy now because I think that I have a date on the calendar when it'll happen and fears of them being pushed up at the same time. We know we have relief, and then there's a fear from the sellers that they got to transact before rates go up any higher. So I think this creates a very unique situation for people who can transact, operate, and bring value. God, I'm talking a lot to make this point. It's an opportunity for people who want to invest with us. That's the bottom line. Invest with us, we got you. That's what I'm saying. Because we know how to operate and handle these situations. Most operators do not. And those are the ones that you see falling on their faces, like a piece of property we're picking up in Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
Wow, I talked a whole lot to say not a lot.
Chris, if I could maybe 12-year-old that.
Please do, because I was unable to, evidently.
This rate increase,
this
potential increase,
the
fear of, it's going to make the window of opportunity a little bit wider.
Right, but more definite too, right? More definite.
Yeah, because sellers now they're like, oh man, I thought they were coming down. When a seller sees rates going the other way, when
they'll
rates
hold out.
Starting to go down, they're like, oh, I can start to charge more for my property.
Yep.
But then when the rates are moving up,
They're
their
like,
prices got
oops,
to come
I
down.
better get out now while I can before it gets worse.
Yes.
And it's a mind trick. And we've got deals coming at us. We'll transact. We've got lined up to transact like 200 and that's 140, 160, another. Oh my gosh, $400 million we got in the pipeline right now. Yeah. Wow, we're buying a lot. We've got a lot of properties we're buying right now.
That Tulsa seller that you started negotiations with 6 months ago, she was like hard as like a rock.
I ain't moving.
And she's come down about $500,000.
Another $500,000 after saying I'm at rock bottom.
Yeah.
And that's a small deal. So that's actually what, 5%? No. 5% she came down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Is that right? Something like that. She came down a significant amount on that small deal.
Well, let me change gears on you, Chris, because we got to talk about Trump's new budget. So,
but only if I can go, nah, 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 nah. Can I do that? Am I allowed? No?
I'll put it up, you nana away. So Trump's got his new budget on the table right now, specifically for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And what this is saying is that they're going to cut back about 13% from the budget. Now, where do the cuts come? That's what always makes the interesting part. And they're coming from two primary sources. Number
This is
one,
tough stuff.
they want to eliminate and cut back on some of the subsidized housing. So, AKA Section 8, all these folks that are claiming, Section 8 millionaire path to riches and all that kind of stuff.
That's the no. We've been warning people. We have been warning you to stay away from these internet gurus who'll tell you about Section 8 is, basically taking advantage of the government and these people's situations. It's horrible. Section 8 was never intended to be a long-term solution. It was intended to be a bridge for people to become financially independent once again, or helping up, or to help people that are in dire need, that have either mental health issues or, some people like our wounded warriors, our veterans that have been forever altered as a result of their service to this country. So those are the people I hope the government continues to protect mental health issues and people who are at a physical disadvantage for whatever reason, in addition to primarily our soldiers, our veterans. Everybody else, you're fair game. You're sitting on your couch, smoking weed, playing Xbox, and collecting a check. To work. Get to work.
Yeah, we actually went and looked at a property when everybody was here in town. We got on a big bus and took everybody with us to go look at one. And it's a nice property, but the fundamental problem is that it's 90%
Section 8. Yeah.
subsidized housing.
So it's 90% not for me.
Yeah, the only upside on that one is if the market rate is prevailing, if it's much stronger, you might have an argument that you could turn those units and then charge market rate and make it worth work. But there's work to do.
But there's a transition, right? And I don't mean any disrespect towards anybody about this, but people who are on Section 8 housing, and that's a blanket statement, and forgive me for making it, generally have no skin in the game. They don't care about where they live, and mixing normal renters with that is just never really, really hugely successful. If you have a small percentage of Section 8 people, it's a little bit better play, but a large percentage of Section 8 transitioning to normal tenants is tough.
Next up, we have multifamily rents picking up month over month for the month of March. However,
yes,
property management software company Yardi, one of the largest, they're saying that year over year, it's negative. How do you explain this, Chris?
How do I explain it? Is stuff pulled back real hard when ICE came in and created a whole bunch of inventory in the market, forcing prices down, and ICE did have an impact. People don't believe it, but they in fact had an impact on renters. So inventory increased, value went down because of less demand significantly, and now we're recovering from that, right? So it was looking like this, it pulled back, looking like this, and then it pulled back, and now it's climbing, but it's still down here. Still not at the peak it was going into this year. So that's how we have a lower than year over year, but still increasing. We just haven't met last year's numbers yet. It's slowly coming back. Because remember, this country still has a housing crisis. We have more people than we do houses. Oh, you have a guest house?
I do.
That will help.
That'll help.
That'll help.
Rent it out.
Yeah.
I got a mother-in-law and a father-in-law. That's what I got. All right, next up, and they have occupied that guest house. I'll tell you that right now. All right, next up, my original home states, no longer,
Lord.
of Minnesota. They made the headlines again.
Going to hell in a handbasket, as my grandma would say.
They are, unfortunately, two big things now. Number one, there's a wealth tax on the table, and they're saying only rich people with $10 million or more, but let's face it, you got one apartment building, you could easily hit that bucket. And you got a business you've been working on for 20 years.
Yeah, but it's not even cash. Like, they're not even talking about cash. They're not talking $10 million in cash. $10 million worth of value. You could literally be operating a property, have $10 million in equity, and not be able to pay this tax.
That's the sad part. So they're following suit with what California was going after, what New York's going after, and now Minnesota. And on top of it, Chris, they are proposing opening bathhouses in Minneapolis.
I am so disgusted by some of these. Like, I know what happens when these things start to come into play. You're going to end up with, Times Square circa 1980, New York Times Square circa 1980, and the sex trafficking and the children that get involved. It's going to hell in a handbasket. That's no exaggeration. But the biggest problem is this tax is personally affecting me. And the next slide will reveal what the heck I'm talking about.
So we're bringing this to you guys because as an investor, you have to understand what's driving traffic. Where are people going? Why are they going? And Minnesota was a great state for a long time. I cut my teeth there, did my first 100+ properties there, and no longer will ever touch it because we don't want to risk a dollar of any investor capital. We want to go where there's certainty.
Don't you know?
And don't you know? Yes. And
This is how it affects me.
so this is the map of where wealth is moving right now, state by state. Red is bad, green is good.
See, so look, Florida is full. You do not come to Florida. Anyway, look, Texas. Look how big that state is. They got a whole bunch of room. Look.
Chris is messing with you.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Look at Montana. There's plenty of land there. It's wide open spaces. They have polar bears sometimes, I understand. Go there. Idaho.
Polar bears?
It's colder.
My wife, when I first moved her to Minnesota, she got up there. She's from the tropical region, and she gets to Minnesota, and she's like, "This is for penguins." Anyway, so wealth is moving. Yes, the dark green
It's
states.
so adorable because his wife is tiny.
Okay.
Stay away from Florida. We're full up. Look at it's too full. Stop in Georgia or South Carolina or North Carolina. New Yorkers, stay up there. Oh, look at Maine. They need people. It's cold there. Get your bodies together, warm the state up. Not Florida.
It's interesting how such prevalence in the upper Midwest. I wouldn't have suspected that, but upper Midwest is
Well-
like everyone is leaving.
Well, yes, because of all the insane taxes. But look at the states they're going to, right? And I'm done being funny. Like Montana, the tax breaks and the stuff and the availability of land, and there's a lot of tax loopholes with the oil stuff and wildlife you can do there. You get some weird tax benefits that are really overcomplicated and beyond my ability to understand. But there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there that allows you to go there, get tax benefits, and buy a lot of land. And you know what they say about land?
What do they say about that?
They're not making any more,
They're not.
except in Abu Dhabi,
Abu
in the
Dhabi.
Emirates.
The billionaire that we just spoke with a couple days ago,
Yeah.
he's building the jetty.
Yes, he is. He's
building
making land.
land.
He's making land. I like that guy.
Yeah.
What a good human being. I genuinely like that guy. There's not. I don't know a lot of billionaires, only 7 or 8, but the ones that I know personally, good people. They're not like that. What you would perceive. Good people.
Last thing I'm going to say on this map is when you start to see migration patterns like this,
Stay out of Florida.
you can come to Florida.
Don't come to Florida.
But this migration, like Florida, $21 billion to come here. It's obviously the ringleader on the map right now. But why are people coming here? You have Citadel from New York, relocates the entire company from New York, takes all of his senior level staff down to Florida. Jobs. This
Tax breaks.
And so when the jobs are migrating like this, you can fully expect that there's going to put more demand in housing.
So I'm going to put this out there, and this may sound like a racist statement, but a lot of New Yorkers are coming this way, and it's so weird. They ran down here during COVID because they didn't want to be in New York because of the restrictions, and then they went back, and then Abu Dhabi, what's his name?
We're going to talk about him next.
Yeah, he pushed them over the edge, and back to Florida they come. Stop in South Carolina. North Carolina is beautiful.
So let's speak of this mayor,
What's
Mayor
his name?
Madani.
Madani, that's it. I'm drawing a blank.
He's finished his racial wealth equity gap, and his studies have now concluded. He just came out public with all of this. Is that light-skinned people are making $180K more than dark-skinned people, and he's going to do something about it. And something that they're going to be doing is they're going to be increasing tax. They're starting with property owners. 9.5% tax increase on property owners.
So I'm going to say this again. I sound like a racist by doing it, but that's not my intention. These are very anti-Semitic things to do because a significant portion of landlords in New York are Jewish and they're whites, and so they're being targeted. But hey, let's flip the card back on them and say, hey, this is a very anti-Semitic thing to be doing, and let's go get this guy. You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm surprised the mob hasn't put a hit on him. I really am.
You are Italian, right, Chris?
I am Italian.
So let's. Is the mob still a thing in New York?
Oh my gosh, are you foolish?
I don't know.
Yes, the mob is more sophisticated than they used to be, but they are real. And I am shocked. I'm telling you, I was shocked shortly after his election that he wasn't made to go check the consistency of concrete about 6 feet deep somewhere. Yeah, I'm really kind of blown away because he's having an impact on both legal and illegal business structure in New York.
So this plan, it also is going to include cutting back 5,000 police officers, which I
Are
think
you
is
stupid?
nutso, but 5,000 police officers will get cut. And then they're increasing taxes on everybody so they can fund free grocery stores, free buses, and free childcare.
This is communism.
Free, free, free.
Free.
My kids have
Somebody pays for it.
Jennifer bought the kids a book called The Land of Free Ice Cream. And it's this island that hands out free ice cream and how everybody gets lured in, right? But it teaches the kids from a young age, like, that doesn't work because it shows that eventually someone has to pay the piper. Someone's got to pay for the ice cream. Someone's got to put up all of that. But in New York, people are buying it so far.
Yeah, but wait a minute. In New York, they don't do that.
Oh.
They give away free gelato.
Italians. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Our next one, we've got the Carmel Partners.
And by the way, it isn't free.
Carmel is not free. This is not candy. This is actually a group from San Francisco. They typically do large builds, but they have now entered the race to buy existing multifamily. Their CEO says, we believe that right now is the best time to buy properties right now. He goes on to comment and say that they're buying at below cost, and so they're entering the race with us right now.
We're going to win.
Why would billions more come from this San Francisco firm into our neck of the woods, Chris?
First of all, they're from San Francisco, so we're going to win. Second of all, they are just doing what Warren Buffett has vocalized for years. When others are scared, be greedy, and when others are greedy, be scared, right? So they're going in, and they're taking advantage of a couple of things. First is the tax benefits of multifamily investment. Second of all is unfavorable selling conditions for the sellers. And so they're taking advantage of it, making it a buyer's market. They're coming in with cash and continued equity. A lot of their transactions are holding the sellers into their transactions for a longer period of time. And they're doing a lot with cash, not really being beat up by the market rates. So they've got an ideal combination and situation for long-term potential upside on these properties. Because let's face it, I'm going to say it again, two things. First, can't make more dirt unless you're in Abu Dhabi or in
the French island, which is
oh my gosh,
we'll come back to
St.
Lucia.
Lucia. Is it Lucia? Yes, St. Lucia. So either you're in St. Lucia or in Abu Dhabi. And the other thing that's going on here, it's cheaper to buy than build. I mean, that's insane. So they're buying rather than building.
Yeah, this is a prominent builder who's now buying existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a good lead. Follow.
All right, next.
Wait a minute. Do you mean that we knew something again? Did we? Could we? Has God blessed us?
What Chris is talking about
is this. And before we bring up this side, I want to say one thing. Nate and I are not extraordinary people. We're just a couple of guys. But the one thing that we do faithfully is we seek counsel and prayer before we do anything. And whenever we do, God is glorified in all of the things that we do. And he just keeps showing up for us again and again and again. Next slide.
So this is the Norada Real Estate Top 10 list for rental demand specifically. Top 10 cities rental demand. And I want to point out, number 1 went to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep, don't care.
Number 2 went to Atlanta, Georgia.
That's us, baby. We just grabbed a 977 unit complex in Atlanta, Georgia. Not specifically Atlanta, but in the suburb in a place called Stone Mountain. And listen, we were absolutely led to this deal on prayer. The whole reason we're doing the deal is to basically honor what God has directed us to do. And what he's directed us to do is to save some of the existing investors. The current general partners were put in a situation where they had to get out because the property was failing, 266 units unrented. They didn't have the finances to turn those units. and they had accepted or were on the verge of signing an offer that would have wiped out all of the equity investors in that property. God introduced us, put us together, and in prayer, God directed us to go and rescue the people that were along for the ride. So not only are we acquiring the property, we haven't even transacted yet, and we're already operating the property with the goal of getting the property back to where it needs to be. And can I get specific with numbers?
You can get
All
specific.
right. So we're acquiring the property for about $73 million, give or take. And 2 years ago, that property appraised at $122 million. So we're going in there, taking it over, and we're bringing the old investors along on what's called a hope note. What that means is if we can get the property back to where it was, above a certain mark where our current investors will get their money back or get their dividends, we will stop paying the old investors. Probably going to cost us about $20 million in profit on this deal. But God directed us to do that. Our investors are going to make up to 25% IRR, and then they're capped. They won't make any more than that. But that's not the beautiful thing. On this deal, literally, our investors will be able to get up to 100% of the basis that they come in at. In other words, you come in at $1 million, we'll be able to give you 100% of that, up to 100% or up to $1 million of depreciation on paper, so that you can write it right off your taxes, so that at the end of the day, you're not giving taxes to the government who operate the government as poorly as these people operated the property. Go and build a bridge to nowhere. I've never built a bridge to nowhere with my money. Let's not let the government do that. Let's hang on to as much money as we can legally, and then let's use that money to positively impact the world. For me, my passion is children, making sure that they're fed and clothed and educated. And his passion is for children as well. And he's big on education and financial fluent literacy and biblical principles in everything we do. So this is an amazing, amazing deal for our investors, because up to 25% IRR and 100% possible bonus depreciation and accelerated depreciation. That's right. It's unbelievable. So if you want to learn about that deal and how it works, please go ahead and put homeinvest.com/book, or put book in the chat down below or the comments below, and one of our team will reach out to you. And I'm talking a lot again.
And the way that will work is you'll literally get directed right to our calendar. Looks like this. This is homeinvest.com/book. Or again, write the word book, BOOK, in the comments, and our team will send you over the links that you can get on a call with us, and we'll tell you all about this deal.
Can you scroll through the OM real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to just throw up this page really quick. So this is the page internally that we're using with our team, but we're literally taking this and helping turn this back into the thriving community that it once was. It's a gorgeous asset.
Gorgeous, 100 acres.
Yeah, it's
99.8. Sorry.
You could not replicate this today. If you had to rebuild this thing today,
250 million.
Yeah, 250, maybe even 300 million in today's prices. So this is a heck of a find. It just needs a little bit of love in the middle. And the team you're talking to right here, we've been blessed. We've done well over 1,000 properties in our tenure, and we've learned a thing or two about making properties beautiful again. And so this is going to be another one that we get to add to the list.
And let's face it, at the end of the day, it's God driving this project, right? And I often make light of that and quote the Blues Brothers. If you're old enough to know the movie The Blues Brothers, where Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi are looking at each other and they say, "It can't stop us. We're on a mission from God." And that's the truth. This is totally inspired. Totally inspired. This is about the people. It's about the community. And it's about humans being human to other humans. That's the bottom line.
Beautiful. I'll let Chris wrap us up. I'll just repeat, if you want to book a call and learn more about this, we're over halfway subscribed right now already.
More than that.
It's filling up really fast.
We got 25% left.
So go to homeinvest.com/book or write the word book in the comments, BOOK. Chris, anything?
Yeah, I want to say this to you guys. Many of you know my life story and know that at one point in my life, I was living behind a dumpster and eating out of dumpsters. And God has blessed me many times over. And I'm not talking about out here. I'm talking about in here. He changed the person that I am and has allowed us a vehicle to affect people's lives. And along the way, he's allowed me lots of indulgences, so I have an amazing life. And I know one thing for a fact. God doesn't love me any more than he loves you, and he doesn't love you any more than he loves me. He'll do for you what he's doing for me if you just submit, love him, and follow his will. God bless y'all. Peace.